Hello Thunder. Hope everyone's having a great long weekend. This is mental training session number 4 and today's topic is attention control. One of the most important mental skills is your ability to focus your attention without being distracted, which, as you know, is especially important but also especially hard in high pressure situations. Focus is the ability to pay attention to task-relevant cues or task-relevant stimulus. It is the point at which you can effectively block out distractions that are bothering you or interfering with your performance. Concentration, on the other hand, is your ability to sustain that level of focus for an extended period of time. When your focus and your concentration are lost, several things can happen. First of all, your awareness and your perception are hampered. Your decision making becomes compromised, your movement becomes disorganized, and then of course your performance starts to suffer. All athletes are faced with the challenge of having to work on their attention skills in practice and competition. There's no one athlete who is immune to this challenge. Some athletes are more challenged by external distractions, which may be things such as the crowd or the audience. Sometimes it's the media. Sometimes they're distracted by their teammates or their coaches, potentially the weather or facility conditions, or potentially even their competitors, potentially even distracted by the moment in the game, whether it's a pressure situation, or potentially even distracted by the significance of the game. Other athletes are more affected by internal distractions. Those could be worries about their performance. Others can be thoughts totally unrelated to performance, such as a stress from work, a project due at school, potentially some discourse in a relationship. The point is, every athlete will be forced with the challenge of their ability to manage that attention, to control their attention. So it's just growing in your selective attention and learning what kind of things are your distractors, and growing in your ability to block out the things that are irrelevant to your performance. If you haven't heard this common statement ad nauseum over the course of your football careers, it's important for you to hear it now. The most powerful way to focus is simply focusing on the things that you can control and letting the things that are out of your control bother you less. The second component to the mental skill of attention control is your ability to refocus. A lot happens in training and competition that can throw off your focus, good and bad situations. So it's important to find those little moments within a game or practice situation, those little micro break moments where you can refocus. There are a lot of strategies that have been known to be very effective for athletes to refocus in these moments of micro breaks in a training or game situation. The first of which is using some kind of a positive physical response. If you make a mistake, it's important for you to move forward, keeping your shoulders back, holding your head high, because remember, what you're saying to yourself will have a negative or a positive physical response. But furthermore, what your body language is communicating to your teammates and to your opponents is very powerful. So if you make a mistake, show that you can move past it. Show that it hasn't gotten you down. It hasn't affected you negatively. Have that I got the next one kind of attitude. Another strategy that's really common is developing some kind of verbal, visual, or physical cue. So some people will find a place in their physical environment, let's call it maybe a goalpost, that when they look at it, it's their moment of refocus. Other people will have something written on their hand, something on their shoe, that when they look at it, it reminds them to move forward, let it go, move on. Other people will have a verbal cue. I call them let it go techniques. So thinking about some kind of statement that you can make to yourself that's very powerful, that's very meaningful, and very effective, that will help you refocus very, very quickly. For me as a rower, I learned that saying drop the knife, which actually sounds kind of gruesome when I share it to others, helped me remember that if something hurts you, you don't continue to hold on to it and let it hurt you and damage you more. You drop the knife, you heal, and you move forward. I've heard other athletes use a let it go statement like flush it down the toilet, let it go. Other people say trash it. Some say park it or nail it or pin it or shelf it if it's a positive thing that you need to refocus from, which means that was awesome. I'm going to park it or shelf it or pin it, and I'm going to come back and see it. So you can see there's two different types of let it go keywords. Some are like, hey, that was crap, let's let it go, don't even think about it again, and let's move forward. Others are, hey, that was really good, I'm just going to keep it over here and get myself back focused, but I'm going to come back and see it again. Another really effective refocusing strategy is simply a deep breath. So learning how to exhale whatever mistake was made, letting it go, and then inhaling positivity and confidence and kind of that restructuring of the mindset. Another really effective refocusing strategy is just that of mental imagery. So if you make a mistake on the field, when you're on the sidelines, it's really important for you to review that skill or that play, go through it in your mind's eye. What did I do well? What did I do wrong? What could I improve on? Make the correction. So again, you're correcting that map or that blueprint so that when you go to physically perform that same situation again, that same skill again, you're better rehearsed to do it better. So just as a little review, attention control is a really important skill for you to hone over the course of the next couple weeks so that it's really effective when you get into playoff situations. More importantly, mental skills, just like those physical skills, really take time to improve. So be using these refocusing strategies, your focusing strategies in training so that when you get into a competitive game situation, they're more effective and they're more useful, they're more automatic. I would be remiss if I didn't say one more thing before signing off, and that's if there are any focus strategies or refocusing strategies, techniques that are working really well for you as an individual player or as a team unit, I would love to hear what's working. I love when we learn from each other, that we share with each other, because that's what's going to make this the most successful program in the end. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to me by text or by email. I am here to support you as much as you want, as you need. But in the meantime, keep training hard. Can't wait to see how you guys do next weekend. Cheers!